salt, soap, soft drinks, beer, milk, textiles, unga, butter, jam, cooking oil, etc., etc. All essential goods, as they were called, were being smuggled into the country, again, and as such, could not pay taxes. Hence, the tax collection of the government in 1986-87 was only $5 billion. Today, our tax collection is Uganda shillings 17,000 billion. I think now it has reached 20,000 billion out of the total budget of 32 billion. Our tax collection today is therefore 3,400 times more than in 1987. How did we achieve this? By using the private sector to rebuild the economy.
What if African Union mission in Somalia had not intervened against the Al-Shabaab militia in 2007? What would be the situation today for a move that most observers saw at the beginning as impossible? This is what you're about to find out as we explore Makar district of the Lower Shabelle region in Somalia amid the proposals for AMISOM withdrawal.
Marka, a district in the Lower Shabelle region of Somalia, is where we found these women. Young and old, they showcased what they love to do best, tailoring as a result of empowerment. This they do with calmness and welcoming nature, a situation they say was never there before 2007. Suspicion cut across whoever came close to them, as they were always worried of a terrorist militia group called Al-Shabaab.
Civilian amesaidia sana AMISOM, amefanya kazi mzuri, namna watiko mgonjwa wanasaidiana, namna iko karibu sehemu iko AMISOM na jukuwanga wa bibi na watoto wote yote, mambo ya hospitali amenisaidia sana AMISOM.
This kind of optimism is a result of a peaceful mission once described by some as dead on arrival. The landing of this chopper and offloading of this merchandise is perhaps one of the human motivations that have seen AMISOM live up to its mandate. Uganda People's Defense Forces has been an active participant in the mission to pacify Somalia.
So at times you find they penetrate and disturb some people. But we manage, because always we are on top of the situation as AMISOM.
Such bravery is what has also enabled them to destroy one of the challenges AMISOM currently faces: improvised explosive devices. UPDF soldiers are seen searching for IEDs, which upon discovery, safety positions are taken before unearthing and destroying the device.
After confirming that this is an IED, then another team comes, or another expert on the very team, to confirm the danger of that IED. And then the mechanism, they have equipment to destroy it. It cannot take an hour.
This victory makes Somali citizens live freely in their country, as seen in these children, who without restrictions are riding bicycles by the Indian Ocean side. Such safety and security achievement is what AMISOM through UPDF is seeking to consolidate. This range shooting ground forms part of the basis for the mentorship program for the National Army of Somalia. Prior to AMISOM intervention in 2007, Marka district had two rival clans, both of which had armed militias. Upon peaceful and persuasive engagement, they agreed to hand over their guns, a reason why they are being integrated into the Somali National Army through mentorship training.
Training is the national army, Somali National Army program, but when they set up the program, we chip in our ideas, but it is almost 3 to 4, and then they integrate, they go to another training.
There is fear, however, that these achievements could be dealt a blow in what is being emphasized as need for AMISOM withdrawal. This proposal is yet to be welcomed by some leaders of Somalia.
I get very much discouraged when I hear the news broadcasting talking about the eventual withdrawal of AMISOM forces from Somalia in 2021. Withdrawal eventually will come, but it should happen at the right time.
So ours is to speak and say, create the necessary conditions, okay, for AMISOM exit. AMISOM is not intending to leave. AMISOM is compelled to leave.
For a country whose judicial system is partly run by the Al-Shabaab militia, there is more to be done before AMISOM withdraws.
My appeal is for AMISOM to remain, to continue and participate in our struggle for nationhood and building of state institutions. That is my appeal, and that is what is my wish. If that can be conveyed to the international community and to IGAD, and accordingly a decision can be taken.
Even if you brought 100,000 AMISOM troops, they will not solve this problem. This problem is solvable provided we get the political line of operation right.
Peace is returning to Somalia, despite pockets of Al-Shabaab remnants that still want to terrorize the country. Such remnants make the presence of AMISOM more than needed, especially as Somalia heads for presidential and parliamentary elections between 2020 and 2021. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Well, thank you very much, Henry, for updating us what's happening in Somalia. Now, in other news, heavy rains have this Sunday pounded Kampala, leading to flooding and unparalleled traffic jam. UBC News reached out to some areas and witnessed some of the flooded roads due to the midday downpour. We are looking forward to the concerned authorities to take care of that drainage. Now, in other news, over 500 households in the 3 sub-counties of Namutumba district are crying foul after their houses were put down following a heavy downpour in the area. Several animals were also killed by the hailstorm that also swept away farm crops, as this report shows us.
A heavy downpour swept through 500 households in Namutumba, leaving residents counting losses. The most affected sub-counties include Bulange, Namutumba Rural, and Chizuba in Namutumba district. The rain also destroyed gardens and killed over 35 cows and other domestic birds in the villages of Buyoboya, Mpumiro, Bugali, Nawandagala, Namuseno, Chizuba, Nawansagwa, among others. According to residents, several people were hit by the falling houses and some sustained serious injuries.
Ebyalo byetu bisemu byonna abantu abasinga basuze kuluya embeera mbi era abantu beeraliikirivu.
Era nsaba gavumenti etugemere kukuba tuziragaku mutwale essaawa eno ali bwakweyambisa jjokooni.
The chairperson Bulange sub-county and that of Bugari village explains the situation. The chairperson Namutumba district, Saleh Kumbuga, toured the affected areas and promised to address the matter.
We have lost goats, we have lost a number of animals. Luckily enough, we have not lost any person. That's the good thing. But property has been lost too much, and the people are really having a real big problem in coping up with the current situation.
He called upon development partners to come to their rescue.
I'm appealing to all stakeholders, to all organizations to come to the rescue of the people of Namutumba, particularly these areas that I've mentioned.
Those affected have resorted to sleeping in churches as they await for government support.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pain Arena. Introducing on the right corner, Mr. Action, the reigning heavyweight champion in the ring against
the Headache, the #1 contender. And the bell rings.
Headache charges forward with a steady right and a left hook. Action dodges. He misses out with an inch. Wait a minute. Mr. Action launches back with a kick. The final blow. He is out.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice. The Parliament of Uganda will host the 64th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference from the 22nd to the 29th of September 2019 at the Munyonyo Commonwealth Resort. The conference provides an opportunity for parliaments to discuss best practices, governance values, and socio-economic aspirations of the Commonwealth. The conference will run under the theme Adoption, Engagement, and Evolution of Parliaments in a Rapidly Changing Commonwealth. Discussions will focus on climate change, innovations in parliaments, persons with disabilities, youth, urbanization, sexual harassment, and separation of powers, among other topics. More than 1,000 delegates from 54 countries are expected, and this will be an opportunity for Ugandans in the social and economic sectors to benefit by providing their services. Follow us on the hashtag 64CPC 2019 and on Facebook at 64th Commonwealth Parliamentary Conference. This message is brought to you by the Clerk to Parliament.
Welcome back. You're still watching the news tonight on UBC TV. Now, in other news, the Ministry of Education and Sports is committed to refurbish all traditional schools across the country. This was contained in the speech by the Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, read for her by the Commissioner for Secondary School, Sam Kuloba, Chambogo College School, 65 years since it was founded.
The Ministry of Education and Sports is committed to refurbishing all old traditional schools across the country to enable them have new buildings, removing asbestos sheets, donate to them science labs and equipment for practical skills. This was contained in a speech by the Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni. Through a speech read to her by the Commissioner for Secondary Schools in the Ministry, Sam Kuloba, during the celebrations of 65 years since Chambogo College School was established.
But also getting money to rehabilitate the traditional old schools. I want to pledge here that Chambogo College School will be on the first call for rehabilitation. To do an assessment of the entire school branch and value the needs of the school so that government can come in to renovate and rehabilitate the school.
While at Chambogo, Kuroba, together with other guests, toured various departments at the school, including the 2 acres banana plantation, urban farming, science labs, and later officially opened the school exhibition. He commended the school administration for not engaging learners only in theological lessons, but also in practical skills, and encouraged other schools to emulate them.
You must be armed with practical skills, like the ones we saw during the exhibition. Be multi-skilled, be versatile, and with the right attitude and values. We are going to come in to renovate the school, but I must call upon students to be disciplined so that what we renovate, what we build, what we construct in this school is not destroyed.
The headmistress of the college, Helen Twenjeire, commended government for supporting the school. However, she revealed that a lot is still needed, especially teachers' houses, and also more teachers for special needs learners.
We are also proud as a school for special needs. It's because they are attracted away from the schools into other sectors where they are paid better. We would like to thank all our partners on this sapphire journey. We are most grateful to our parents who contributed funds to make this a success. Our chief guest, Abazade Bafe, they agreed to top up on the school fees they pay.
Salongo Kasibante compiled this report.
In other news, police in Chisoro district is investigating circumstances under which a 70-year-old man, Boniface Ntachungwe, was murdered in Buchimbiri sub-county in Chisoro district. In North Mashaija, LC2 of Kagunga parish confirmed the killing and said that Ntachungwe was murdered on his way from a wedding ceremony.
Residents of Buchimbiri sub-county in Chisoro district are in shock after one of the oldest men in the area was found murdered by persons yet to be identified. 70-year-old Boniface Ntachungwe was murdered Saturday night while coming from a village party. Police here at Chisoro district Robert Mujenyi confirmed the killing, saying that police is investigating and whoever found will be charged.
Kutwali amateka mungaro kintu kibi kasa muntu arazorwa ntunu wachikozere yamuita deni government kuja kwende kolaki nembujunana.
He asked residents to stop taking laws in their hands. 2 persons have so far been arrested to help police investigations. The area L1 chairperson Benedict Mobiru confirmed the death of the old man by probable strangling. The body is now at Chisoro Hospital for post-mortem. 4 people, including 3 men and 1 woman, have been murdered in Chisoro in the last 6 days.
Quite unfortunate events right there. We hope that the authorities can come to solve that. The chiefdom of Busongora has received a delegation of members of entrepreneur organizations from China with the aim of helping communities as well as promoting tourism in the kingdom. The Omukama of Busongora Kingdom, Ndahura II Kashagama stressed the need of restoring the environment in the region because it has been greatly degraded. We take a look.
Entrepreneurs from China have paid a courtesy visit to the Busongora Kingdom Palace to explore the culture and identify key areas for tourism. The Omukama of Busongora, His Royal Majesty Ndahura Imara Kashagama says the kingdom is faced with fears of disappearance unless friends help in its promotion. Among the key areas of emphasis, the Entrepreneurs Organization is to focus on sensitizing communities and schools about socio-economic development.
It also gives our people exposure because most people feel isolated. They feel isolated, they don't have access to the world, and it gives them a chance, you know, for them to meet. If you have people who are living in a countryside, they don't go to the capital, they don't have the resources to travel around the world. So what we do is we bring the travelers to them. The same organization pledged several million shillings for our schools.
Ndahura says the delegation has helped the kingdom to identify the weak areas in the kingdom, which has exposed them to a number of developments.
We expect help with our schools because that money has been pledged already, about 70 million so far. We're also going to get boreholes and other kinds of waterworks, which they're going to pay for and have already started paying for.
Though they are cattle keepers, the Basongora do not kill animals, neither do they hunt out for them, and accordingly, people keeping livestock should not kill them for anything.
We avoid killing animals. We are a culture that is environmentally conscious. We don't generally cut trees. We also don't kill animals. We don't hunt. It's taboo to hunt. So we're promoting a culture that has not been known. Most cultures in Africa are portrayed as hunters. You know, they value that thing. You know, you hunt. In Basongora, it's the opposite.
He said the Basongora are still following their culture of dressing, and that living by example is key to cultural survival.
Among the Basongora, being half-dressed was not an issue before. People only dress usually a lot when they get married or when they get to a point where they have puberty, right? But traditionally, dressing wasn't such a big deal.
My tree, organization was characterized by a number of activities, including tree planting, showcasing the Basongora culture among others. Currently, the Basongora kingdom is still mourning the death of Samuel Ntunga, who was its prime minister and a lover of his culture and kingdom.
Right Honorable Samuel Ntunga passed away. He's been serving as prime minister since 2012 when we revived the kingdom. And not only that, he was a senior prince and head of the royal clan, and he was also a very instrumental and important person in the district and in the country.
The Basongora are also gifted with a variety of cultural regalia and making of art crafts, as manifested by their works. Sudat Kaye and Wycliffe Modach, UBC News.
Does heartburn stop you from eating the things you love? Eating too fast, alcohol or spicy food can trigger acidity, heartburn, indigestion or flatulence. Your best bet is Better Cool. Better Cool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
And now in the world of business, impactful financial inclusion efforts must be well researched and packaged to suit the users, especially the marginalized communities. By so doing, the African continent will take the lead in the financial inclusion innovation, says Warren Karu, the Vice President of Payment Solutions, Modest Box Inc. Karu was the keynote speaker at the 2019 Digital Impact Awards of Africa in Kampala.
The Digital Impacts Awards Africa is aimed at showcasing digital innovations, enlightening the public on the new developments in the technological sphere, and reward organizations spearheading the digital revolution in Uganda. On the theme, Include Everyone, the 2019 summit sought to promote digital inclusion, financial inclusion, and cybersecurity.
At the bottom end, let's listen to what people actually need, you know? We need a reliable service. We need something that gets into the rural communities. We need to provide education for people. And we need to start simple. People don't need an account for trading shares on the stock market. They need an account to store their money safely, send the money to people, buy food from the shop. Once they've got that, we can give them loans, responsible loans, you know, etc., etc. We can build on it. Don't try and do everything over here. Take the community with you.
Although the digital revolution has taken the African continent by a storm, majority of the public are still cautious and taking baby steps in adoption. It begs the question of why is it so, and what can be done to entice more people to embrace the digital space.
The central bank as the regulator is still nervous. They are nervous about these new areas that they may not be able to regulate very easily. So they are the ones to guide us. The other regulators, they're the ones we trust, know the sector. So it's important that they take a lead in this and tell us exactly what is happening. And then, of course, the telecom companies stand to benefit.
The 2019 edition was attended by the executives, senior digital and finance players from across the continent. Airtel Uganda was among the big winners of the night in the telecom category.
For Airtel, currently we are actually running a digital platform for entrepreneurs. It's called My Hustle. I think you have seen it run. Every Saturday you have to watch out for it on our social media pages. My Hustle gives a platform to entrepreneurs out there to showcase what they do in their trade. So this means that you have, by appearing on the social media pages of Airtel Uganda, you have a chance to market your goods to over 1.5 million Ugandans. So everyone who has appeared on My Hustle will tell you their lives have changed, their businesses have changed, and this makes us very proud as Airtel Uganda.
Participants concurred that successful and impactful financial inclusion efforts must be well researched, modeled, positioned, promoted, critiqued, distributed, as well as celebrated. Dennis Igoa for UBC News in Kampala.
And now in the world of sports, the Rugby World Cup started in high gear with host Japan registering the first win against Russia in the opening game in Tokyo at the Yokohama Stadium in Japan. However, Africa's representative, South Africa, lost to New Zealand 23-13, as well as Namibia putting up a good fight against Italy, though not good enough to secure a win, having lost 47-22. Helen Gizamba reports.
A beautiful break, and Tomasa Allen, he came running from a ridiculous right, and look at the support line, smashes it in for a 14-7 lead.
Namibia puts up a spirited fight against Italy in the Rugby World Cup, though not convincing to earn Africa's first win in the competition when they fell 47-22 to giants Italy. Despite South Africa's win against New Zealand and a draw in a pre-Rugby World Cup test match, New Zealand came in stronger, cornering South Africa into mistakes and conceding penalties during plays, whereby New Zealand took advantage to claim victory 23-13.
After Clare feeding Etzebeth, and then this was after Ches and Colbert brought the stadium to life at the right-hand side. Peter Steph Victoria notices there's no one in behind.
In other games, England beat Tonga 35-0. In a toe-to-toe game, Australia beat Fiji 39-29, while Japan secured 30-10 in their opening match against Russia. Action resumes Tuesday with wounded Russia hoping to snatch a win from gigantic Samoa. For UBC, Helen Barbara, Gizamba.
Well, we've come to the end of our 8 o'clock News Tonight bulletin. However, let's take a look at tonight's top stories before we say goodnight. Museveni chairs UPDF council meeting. 70-year-old murdered. Quintuplets, family welcomed in Namutumba. And in sports, Crane secured a 3-0 win against Burundi. Well, updates for the soccer matches that have been going on. Liverpool has beaten Chelsea 2-1, and Arsenal 3. Aston Villa has taken 1. Surprising. Thank you for being a part of this bulletin. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and on sign language is Elizabeth Nakakoni. From the team and us, it's See You at 10.
Brought to you by Better Cool works fast to relieve acidity, heartburn, and indigestion. Trust Better Cool. Enjoy life.
If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Measles and rubella outbreaks are still being reported in some districts in Uganda, putting the lives of our children at risk. In order to stop these outbreaks and maintain a polio-free Uganda, the Ministry of Health has planned a national measles, rubella and polio immunization campaign for all children under 15 years of age on 16th to 20th October 2019, starting 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. All vaccines are safe, effective